What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and once again, I'm here to talk about Warhammer 40k. Today we will continue to take part in day 2 of the 13 days of Halloween, where I post a Halloween-themed 40k video each and every day leading up to Halloween. So yesterday we talked about the most infamous vampires of 40k, and today we're going to also be talking about a very notable monster. One that you've seen because it's in the thumbnail. It is none other than the werewolf. Werewolves, or lycanthropes as they are sometimes called, are seen in a lot of media. Books, movies, porn, video games, it's everywhere. From Twilight to that one werewolf transformation scene in American Werewolf in London that has scarred me ever since. Body horror and the Sound Alchemist do not mix. However, I do love the design behind the Warhammer fantasy werewolves known as the Skin Wolves. In my opinion, Age of Sigmar overall just does it way better when it comes to like creepy models and really showcasing the horror aspect of just grim dark fantasy. 40k does do a good job at times, but overall, like, Age of Sigmar is king, except when you're talking about the Demon Kulaba, but we're not here to talk about wombs, we're here to talk about werewolves. So anyway, going back to the Skin Wolves are essentially humans who have been cursed by the forces of chaos or by witches. And they work the same way as like the werewolves that we all know, either on a full moon or when the curse is activating or when the chaos gods will it. The person, will begin to transform from the inside out, which sounds incredibly painful and very nasty when you think about it, because since they're transforming from the inside out, they are literally ripping through their own skin to become a werewolf. They they will attack anything, and they're just a ball of rage and insatiable hunger made manifest, and they're just gonna go out and kill whatever they get their hands on. Once they've had enough of their fill of food and their bloodlust has been sedated, the Skin Wolf will begin to liquefy almost until their flesh falls off, revealing the human form underneath. So that's kind of nasty. They rip out of their own skin, and then their skin melts off to reveal their human form, which is really unique, I guess. Like, I'm just constantly thinking of that scene in American Werewolf in London. Like, it's just nasty. And that also reminds me of the scene in The Fly, where Jeff Goldblum and the Fly fuse together, and it's just nastiness. Like, yuck. But anyway, these actually do happen to be a playable race, and the models can be found via Forge World. I don't know if they're still available, and I don't even know if they're a thing anymore, because I believe this is a Warhammer Fantasy model, not an Age of Sigmar model, but still, nonetheless, it was available at one time, or maybe currently. Now, moving on over to Warhammer 40k, we have, of course, the Space Wolves and their mutated battle brothers, the Wolfen. The Wolfen is pretty much as close as we can get to actual werewolves in 40k. The Wolfen is pretty much a Space Wolf Space Marine who has basically had their genetic makeup, their gene seed, mutate into a way that they become these feral, bestial creatures. They're bigger, they're tougher, they're faster, and they have more of a bloodlust than a Space Wolf normally has. So rumor has it that the Wolfen got their name from Wolfen, a chieftain of Fenris who was the first to accept Leman Russ's offer to become a Space Marine. However, he was secretly jealous of Russ, and because of this, the gene seed mutated him into a vicious monster, hungering for blood. And just like how wolves, if they bite somebody and not kill them, can make other werewolves, the same thing applies with wolfen. Apparently, it seems that being very close to a wolfen or coming in contact to one may be sufficient enough to infect their battle brothers, giving them the curse of the wolfen as well. And with the rise of the Primaris Marines, the Space Wolves thought that, hey, maybe Belisarius' Call finally fixed the Canis Helix mutation within the gene seed and has stopped Primaris from getting the same mutation, but no, that was incorrect. Primaris can still succumb to the curse of the Wolfen and essentially become werewolves themselves. And before we end this video, I wanted to talk about the most badass dreadnought / werewolf, yes, you heard right, out there, none other than Murder Fang. Just how freaking metal is that name? Murder Fang, the freaking wolfen dreadnought. So, here we go. Upon the hell world of Omnicide, Logan Grimnar's great company stumbled upon a feral space wolf dreadnought, carving its way through a force of Chaos Space Marines. After a fierce struggle, the murderous machine is captured and frozen in stasis, before being taken back to the Fang for study. The identity of the once noble hero within its sarcophagus has been long lost, consumed by the bestial thing that now leers from its facade. In times of great strife, the machine beast is released from its glacial prison and set upon the foe. It will claw, stamp, and bite until nothing is left but ruin. At battle's end, the Space Wolves will freeze it with Hellfrost technology, hoping that Murder Fang's wrath can be stayed for long enough to see it contained once more in the caverns beneath the Fang. Just how badass is that, man? Like, werewolves are already pretty cool, but then you have a Space Marine werewolf, and then you have a Space Marine werewolf in a dreadnought, and the little icing on top, the cherry on top, the sprinkles on top, whatever you want to call it, his name is Murder Fang. And there you have it, guys. That is where this video will end on the werewolves of Warhammer. Skin wolves are pretty much legit a werewolf that ruptures from the inside out and is bathed in its own blood and skin, while the Space Marines have a really awesome transformation, I guess. It's a mutation. They're mutants, but it's very, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because it's very heretical in the eyes of the Imperium, but at the same time, knowing you have these like canine lycanthrope beasts fighting amongst you is pretty cool too, especially if they're within a sarcophagus of metal and malice. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about these lycanthropes within Warhammer, and also let me know what other ideas you want me to cover, to talk about in these 13 days of Halloween. Be sure to subscribe for more things 40k, and let us know in the comments what other ideas you guys have. As always, this has been Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I will be catching you guys in the next time. Peace.